everyone, welcome back to the EJ Sports Podcast. It's your host, Iyo, and boy Jay here.
What's up?
And today we're going to be talking about WWE Backlash. Now, it used to be WrestleMania Backlash, and to be honest with you, this should be called WrestleMania Backlash because, honestly, it was a better event than actual WrestleMania. A lot of the matches here, I won't say a lot, I will say 3 out of the matches that were in this card could have been matches at WrestleMania, and we would have not been offended. They actually would have preferred these matches at WrestleMania. But I'll be honest with you, WWE Backlash was a way better production-wise, than I expected. Obviously, some of the feuds were not built out. Hint, hint. Iyo Sky versus Asuka was supposed to be involved Kairi Sane, but no more Kairi Sane. For some reason we had Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins, but we don't have any other Vision member, involved. We had the Street Profits involved, but yet again, where's the title match between the Vision, Logan Paul and Austin Theory, and the Street Profits? Like, why aren't we having these sort of things going on? But overall, we're going to give our opinion how Backlash was. Of course, you're going to hear Jay's opinion of Backlash, which is very, very strong compared to mine. The first thing I have to say, off the bat, you couldn't have done it in a better arena, like Tampa, Florida for Backlash. I feel like it didn't get the vibe of what this Backlash should have been. I feel like, you could have gone somewhere better. Honestly, you should have gone international. I feel like some of the best Backlashes in recent years have been international Backlashes. But in my opinion, this was a 7 out of 10 show. A pretty box standard, better in some aspects than WrestleMania when it comes to matches wise, to be honest with you. It had that little flashiness. There's probably like 2 segments, I want to say, that I was not entertained by. I won't say entertained, but I was very underwhelmed. But for me, 7 out of 10. Jay, what do you think?
Okay, I will go straight to the point with my rating. I gave it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. But I give it a 6. There was 2 matches for me that were... One was straight up the match of the night.
I have one match too. My match of the night, yeah.
And the second one was a decent, not great, not horrible.
No, I'm curious what you think.
Not horrible, but it fit my standards of what it needed to be.
Okay.
And then the other 3 matches in the other segment of Mr. Cena sucked. Well, one of them was decent at... It was decent. I give it like a 3, but the rest sucked.
Before you go into your rating of the match, we'll go one by one. But overall, 6 out of 10 for you.
Correct.
7 out of 10 for me. And again, compare this to WrestleMania. Does your, I want to say, ratings of WrestleMania lower or higher? Because apparently some of these matches were like the continuation of WrestleMania.
Continuation?
Because I feel like 2 matches.
The only 2 matches were continue. Actually, if you want to count the other one, it's 3. But the other matches were not continuation. They just started.
I feel like all matches except one were continuation.
2. But
we'll go one by one. I'll show you how they were
2 were not continuation. The other 3 were continuation. But yeah.
Well, speaking about the match, we'll go one by one. We will not go in order of the matches, we will say, how these matches are. The first match we'll go with straight away, Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins.
That wasn't continuation, but just because of Braun being injured. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, technically it was a continuation because Braun Breaker cost Seth Rollins the match at WrestleMania.
But not really. They didn't have a match. But yeah,
again,
go ahead.
Again, we'll say no, but when it comes to this match, honestly, 5 out of 10.
Oh, I thought we were going to like 3 out of 5 and all that. Okay.
Oh, you know what? We'll go with that. We'll go with your rating. 2.5 out of 5.
That's what I was thinking.
2.5 out of
2.5
5.
also.
I'll be honest with you, this match was not entertaining at all.
It wasn't. It was kind of mid at horrible, but that was the match that I was saying that it was like, mid. I give it a 2.5 right here, but I will be a little bit generous. 3. Okay, I will give it a 3. How about that?
For me, to be honest with you, it was very much like it felt like a Raw match. Like, I feel like a Monday
You want
Night
me to
Raw
tell you
type
the
of
truth? There's 3 matches that were basically Raw matches.
Well,
2 of them were pay-per-view matches.
Well, I'll be honest with you. When it comes to at least this match specifically,
They could have just saved it for Raw.
Seth Rollins botching was very much a big thing, because I feel like, and this is my sort of criticism of, has always been about Seth Rollins. You sadly aren't at the level of Shield Seth Rollins of the first years. We're talking about the briefcase with J&J Security, that level of Seth Rollins. And yes, it could be injuries, yes, it could be a lot of things, but I feel like you no longer are the master of mat wrestling, mixed in with high flying, this high intensity. You're no longer like that. You don't have that sort of style anymore, which is very sad for me, because I became a Seth Rollins fan because of his high flying daredevil, style mixed in with a little bit of mat wrestling, sort of intensity, and matched up with Braun Breaker, who isn't, he's more of an explosive wrestler, like, you could say like Brock Lesnar. The two styles didn't clash, and you could tell that it just didn't clash. Honestly, it could have been a Monday Night Raw match, and I would have been fine with it.
I feel another thing is that when they got rid of the whatchamacallit, when they did like separate like matches like during the weekend and night shows or whatever. The matches that they use house shows. There you go. I call it night shows just because it's basically at nighttime. And yeah.
I will say though,
when they stopped doing house shows, they just out of nowhere, every wrestler, not every, but some wrestlers, a lot of wrestlers, they've been doing a lot of botches just because of Mr. Triple H, Triple Fraud, and TKO, TK Fraud are just ruining wrestling. No, WWE just because they don't want house shows, and most of these wrestlers, they just have one night to wrestle or do whatever, and then they just go home, relax, and the Jobber City wrestlers, they're just to be jobbers, and they don't wrestle, and whenever they have their time to wrestle, they just botch.
I will say, this is the fault of all of you out there who always cry about the work life is hard, I work too much, too many hours. This is not just in WWE. This is all of sports, right?
That is true.
Like the NBA, we don't want to play 82 games anymore. Shut the hell up. Shut up and dribble. Shut up and dribble. It has been 82 games for years. And you're telling me, why is it now that you are hurting? And why is it now that you are basically getting injured more often than back in the day? It's because of you. You're too soft. You don't work out. You just, again, old heads have said it since the beginning. You're no longer doing practicing. You're no longer in practice. You're just running scrimmages and hoping that will help your game. No, in order to improve and to move forward and not have botches like in WWE or not get injured like in real sports, you need to repetition. Build up your muscle memory. Build up those muscles and those tendons to make sure they're actually able to withstand your schedule. But for some reason, we decide, no more house shows. I know it's a money base too, because honestly, house shows is where wrestlers express themselves. It's where they can try new things. Yes, some may get...
And the promos too.
And promos. But yes, some may get injured. But guess what? That's life. Live with it. Stop being so soft and actually go out there and do house shows. I 100% agree. We're going to the next subject.
He's just going too PC. He doesn't want to say the real words,
Oh, yeah,
but if it was me,
this is a family show. I can't.
yeah,
be
it's a
saying too
family
much.
show. Sorry, you guys, we cannot go off the PG rails.
Yeah, it's a family show.
But if it was me, I will go off the PG rails. But
Off camera, we might be. But this is a family show.
This is a family show, and we don't want no more. We don't want no off the PG rails. Yeah, keep on going.
All right, next match: Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn. Way better than a WrestleMania match. 3.5 out of 10. 5 out of 5.
Well,
3.5 out of 5.
I agree with that because they give him a little bit more time.
Way
But
better
for
than a
me,
WrestleMania
I
match.
give it a 2.5.
3.5, way better. You actually could see the story that they should have told at WrestleMania. You see it here. But I will say, talking about this dumb match. I call it dumb because of the horrible go home SmackDown
Oh, the gingerbread.
with the gingerbread.
Oh, yeah, another thing.
Horrible. And also, I want no beef with WWE, but I will say this, and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. You trying to block us, the content creators, from posting stuff about WWE. That is some low ball move, y'all. Because as content creators, we express our opinion, but also, and I won't say us because I know we're a small channel, but people like Santi's app, right? People like their level. And you're blocking their videos, trying to kick them off of platforms for really promoting your company. That's some low ball move. I don't want to say that because they took a dig at streamers when they did the gingerbread thing.
Ladies and gentlemen from the WWE folks, you guys are becoming like AEW now. When AEW started censoring people because they were talking trash about some segments.
I will say before Jay continues, he is feeling sick, so if you do hear cough in the background, we're sorry, but continue.
And with this, probably AEW will take advantage and will let streamers actually continue talking trash about their product. Maybe we don't know.
AEW should 100% take advantage. AEW, TNA, MLW.
Well, the problem is that TNA is part of WWE. That means
not officially. They're a partnership, but they're not part of it.
Hey, but I feel like WWE has some part of it too. I mean,
again, you can talk about the AWA, TNA, AEW, MLW, New Japan, All Japan. Again, any other wrestling company should take advantage of what WWE is doing. They're censoring. If you come out and saying that we won't censor, we won't copyright, we won't strike down your channel, you will see that channels will switch and do an influx and will start putting up your product. And that's a true fact. And again, any way you could take advantage of WWE's misery, take advantage, because I love seeing great wrestling. And AEW, you are right now at the moment where you're not showing up great wrestling. You're kind of failing. Again, I've given you the chance. Again, we're going the forbidden door. You better pull up bangers. But we'll continue the next match. Or you want to talk about the segment? You decide.
which one? The gingerbread?
The Cena segment.
No, keep on with the matches. The Cena was in the middle of Asuka and Roman.
So we'll talk about The Miz and Kit Wilson versus Danhausen and Mini Danhausen.
Okay,
now,
I already have my rating already for this one.
All right, go continue.
0 out of 10. Or 0 out of 5, whatever.
4 out of 5.
Why were they freaking telling us, oh, mystery partner? We were expecting, I don't know, Vince McMahon.
I wasn't expecting that.
I was expecting a Vince. I was expecting, out of nowhere, Brock Lesnar to come out and freaking jobbing, destroying the Miz and the other jobber. And then out of nowhere, they win. And then he also destroys Danhausen. That would have been perfect.
See, the funny part, I was only expecting one person for the laughs. I said if Oba Femi comes out and
Oh yeah, Oba
destroys them.
Femi, that would have been perfect too.
I said if
Just
Oba,
imagine Oba coming out, freaking destroying everyone, and then at the end of the match, he destroys Danhausen, dude. That would have been epic. He would have been already well, he's already elite already, but he would have been mega elite for WWE.
oh hell no. No. See, I only wanted Oba Femi just for the laughs. But what they pulled out, that is pure cinema. Perfect WWE wrestling. Notice I didn't say wrestling. I said WWE wrestling.
This was more comedic for the
Exactly. And what is WWE? What are they known for?
entertainment.
Comedic wrestling. I'm sorry. If you want that crappy wrestling, go to AEW. Go to AEW. You want that crappy wrestling, go to TNA.
This
you want
is
crappy wrestling, go to the MLW. What I mean by crappy wrestling, I mean people acting like they're good at wrestling, mat wrestling, but it's not really good. And trust me, there's a lot of it out there. When it comes to WWE, this was a comedy match. Again, you should have known it when you saw Danhausen, current Miz. This isn't Money in the Bank, Intercontinental, WWE Champion Miz. This is current Miz.
I saw something
Wilson.
today in the internet. Is that well, I just typed in WWE next releases. They're saying that maybe the Miz could be next to be released. They don't know yet. It's not 100, but the Miz is up there.
The Miz don't need it. He got hella money.
He has money. He could just retire if he wants to. And
honestly, if the Miz does get released, quote unquote, they're probably gonna release him from his active wrestling contract.
I think he will be in like in a storyline, right, or something like that.
He'll be like in the back. He'll be in the backstage. He'll probably
doing storylines or something like that.
He'll be doing what AJ Styles is doing right now. He's helping with storylines. He's doing stuff in the background. He's chilling. That's what the Miz is gonna do. Again, the Miz and Maurice, their character backstage will be epic. And again, we're gonna talk about the big thing. The return of El Torito, Mascarita Sagrada.
I was
which
expecting
is now Mini Danhausen, and I called it. The minute I saw the mini wrestler, I'm like, that's El Torito, that's Mascarita Sagrada. I know who that is. And the minute he did that springboard and he was doing those sort of huracanadas, I was like, I know who that is. I used to watch old 2016, somewhere around there, WWE. I remember Los Matadores. I remember we LC. I remember that. Again, I remember it.
All right.
Trust me, I was entertained. I was entertained.
Next match.
4 out of 5. I don't care what people say.
4 out of 5? You mean 4 out of 10?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. I say 0 out of 5. 0
4
out of 10.
5. That was beautiful.
All right, next match.
Next match, the true instant classic.
10 out of 10. 5 out of 5.
Iyo Sky versus Asuka. Actually, no, not 10 out of 10. Now 5 out of 5. 4.9 out of 5.
Why? Because Kyrie didn't show
9.9 out
up.
of 5. Because you got rid of the main reason of the storyline. You got rid of Kyrie Sane.
That is true, but I still have it 5 out of 5. 10 out of 10.
Match-wise, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. Storyline-wise, 9.9. 4.5. For the simple fact, you got rid of the main reason. You got rid of the main reason of the whole storyline in general. You got rid of Kyrie Sane. If Kyrie was there and we saw Kyrie turn on Asuka, you saw Kyrie finally going to the good side, finally going to the good guys, and seeing Asuka being betrayed and realizing that she was in the wrong, that she should join the rest of her sisters. That would have been great cinema. That should have been a WrestleMania match. When I talk about WrestleMania matches, this Danhausen match could have been cool for WrestleMania instead of the women's tag team. Because you imagine how many people would have been entertained. This
lot.
Iyo versus Asuka should have been at WrestleMania instead of Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. Instead of the Vision with Speed and LA Knight and the Usos. These two matches actually made sense for WrestleMania, and the matches I just said made sense for Backlash. A B or C tier, PLE for C tier talent. and these A tier talent / entertainment for an A tier PLE. That's in my opinion. Again, great match. You fumbled the storyline. Technically, the whole reason of the match was fumbled when you got rid of Kyrie. But we're going to the John Cena segment. People were hyped up thinking it was like something. I thought it was gonna be Club WWE. It's this tournament that it's fan voted. It's a popularity contest. You could lose the match and still win the random title that I honestly don't care about. Honestly, for me, it should have been like like I was the Mae Young Classic or the Cruiserweight Classic, where basically it was people putting on great matches, and if you won, you advance. Then if you win the whole thing, you win the belt. That's in my opinion the way it should have been. Now it's just some random popularity contest. To be honest with you, this reminds me of like 2000s WWE where like Vince McMahon had like the case of money, and if you called in, you could have won $1 million. It reminds me of old school WWE, and I was never a fan of that style. But for me, this segment was a 0 out of 5. I did not care about it.
I didn't care either. Waste of my time. The way John Cena explained it was horrible.
Honestly, I was confused.
I don't know why, if a heel wrestler wins, he doesn't advance just because the fans are going to choose the babyface wrestler.
I'm thinking if Danhausen's in this tournament, Danhausen's winning.
Oh, yeah, of course. And afterwards, what's going to happen, like, if they win the championship, because there's a championship.
Is it a one-time thing? How do you defend it? Like are you telling
they're going to go for the WWE title? Are they going for any titles if they win that title?
Are you telling me that if let's just say Gunther versus, I don't know, we could say like Kit Wilson has a match, Gunther kills him, they put up a Twitter poll, and Kit Wilson has like an 85%. You're telling me that Kit Wilson's champion?
Probably
What?
so. But here's the thing: is they're just doing it for money wise and to sell tickets.
It's gonna
just
flop.
because
It's gonna flop.
they know that if John Cena appears, everyone's gonna buy tickets just to see John Cena. They're not just gonna buy tickets just to see the new guys and all that. It's all about money, and they know that John Cena is the guy that will help him out to get the tickets that they need. It's almost like The Rock. I don't know where The Rock comes out and then he wins the championship and then he's like, I want to face John Cena, come out of retirement.
No, stop. You took it too far. You always take it too far. For some reason, your affinity to gawk at The Rock for some random reason. And you know the funny part? If they would have done this last year, or they would have done it like at least a couple months ago, imagine the roster for NXT. I'm gonna put you up here. Right now, NXT lost Obafemi, Trick Williams, Javon. They lost Ricky Saints,
Ethan
Page, women's side, Joe Hendry, women's side. You lost all of Fatal Influence. You lost Blake Monroe. You lost Jordan Grace. Again, you lost, we could put it this way. We can go as far back as Stephanie Vaquer. You lost all that talent. Imagine if those talent were still in NXT and you had the main roster. Imagine how much better that tournament is. Now, for the guys' side, who are we having? Tony D'Angelo?
I don't know,
Really?
some bums that we don't know if they're good or not.
Is Tony D'Angelo going to be the best guy to represent NXT? He's your champion. Lola Vice, as good as Lola Vice is, she is nowhere near any of the other female wrestlers I just mentioned. So honestly, this is gonna flop. It's not gonna make no sense.
All right, now let's go to the next match of Roman Reigns against Jacob Fatu.
2.5 out of 5.
You give it a 2.5?
I was not impressed by this match.
Yeah, you want me to tell you what I give?
Wait,
I give it a 4 out of 5.
2.5, and the only reason for it is that they did the same thing they did with Randy Orton, where Jacob Fatu kills Roman at the end and poses for the belt.
That is true, but
honestly,
but the match is a 4.
I'll be honest with you. What percentage of you thought Jacob Fatu was going to win the title? For me, it was literally 0.0000 infinity 0.
Everyone knew that he was gonna lose, but
Exactly. So I was never invested in the match.
I was like, this match is
The whole
good.
thing about the match was this tongue and vice, this sort of submission that is so deadly that it could crush your trachea. You're really telling me that it was so deadly that Roman Reigns was able to rip off the turnbuckle and then slam Jacob Fatu against it and throw a spear at him? It was so deadly. He was able to do all of that sequence and still win. This so-called deadly thing? No! Again!
No!
It's true, though. It's true. I knew since the beginning Jacob Fatu was not going to win. And Jacob Fatu was going to look like a punk. He was going to look like a punk. And the only way he wouldn't look like a punk is the stereotypical WWE, I lost, but I'm going to destroy you and pose with the belt. Guess what? We've had 3 in the last month. Randy at WrestleMania, Gunther over Cody. Again, Cody's been hit twice. And now Jacob Fatu versus Roman. All in segments. 2 of them were post-match after losing. And 1 was a segment in order to face Cody for the belt. And we all know Gunther's not going to win because the match is Cody versus Randy Orton again.
Oh yeah, it's actually
Again,
it's almost confirmed, but yeah.
Again. This is why I say, like, I can't be invested in WWE storylines because we already know where it's going to go. Because they shove it off your face what direction we're going to go. And if any other direction is supposed to be the good direction, aka Mello versus Trick Williams at WrestleMania, except Sami Zayn. But no, we're going to go our direction. And we're not, and again, this is going to remind me of Cody during his WrestleMania, post-WrestleMania win, when he won the title. There was no credible threats against him. Whoever he faced was never going to be a credible threat because they wanted either Cody versus Roman again at WrestleMania or it was going to be Cena. And we knew that from the jump. But again, I give it that score, you give it that score. Overall, Backlash, it was not bad. It wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Like, comment, subscribe. What do you think about Backlash? Was I wrong about the Jacob Fatu match? Again, I could be wrong. But thank you guys so much, and goodbye.